Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Today was one of those really nice, calm days. Allowed me to think about a lot of things. Hmm. So, our topic today would be what makes a good relationship? What should we be looking for in our partner that would assist us in creating a great, long lasting relationship? Now, a lot of us have these long lists. We just generalize things that we look for: smart, good looking, funny. And then they have those who have these specific lists, like who could cook, who could clean house and wash wares and take care of kids, etc., etc., etc. Right? Those are really good traits, but those are like generalized traits. Like there are a lot of people who can cook, and they're not good already for a long lasting, long term relationship. So today I'm going to open some of your minds to what makes and what keeps a long lasting, long term relationship. So let's get into it. The first point I want to talk about would be you want to look for somebody who is kind, loyal, and understanding. You're not looking for somebody who have stats and somebody who has looks and somebody who is very external. You want somebody who can actually be empathic with you, who can understand what you're going through, who can be kind, who can literally give you the shoulder that you might want to lean on and look at and rest your mind with. Just somebody who's comfortable. And you don't want somebody who flaky. 1 second they're there, 1 second they're not. 1 second they're loyal, then next second they're not. And it leaves you to question. Now, I've been told in the past, if you have to question it, then it is what it is. And you don't want somebody that you have to question their motives. You just want to know that this person is loyal, they got my back when I'm with them and when I'm not with them. And I'm not looking like a fool in the streets, have people saying a lot of things behind my back. And whilst it is that I have my head up in the air, I'm being stabbed in the back over and over again. You want somebody who's loyal, who's down who's down with you no matter what is the circumstance, but somebody who will also push you to go to the next level. Right? These are the people. This is just a few of the qualities that you need, you know, and you need somebody who can understand. Now, everybody must understand this one part, that when you're getting into a relationship, it's you and another person, their past and your past, coming together to create something for the future. And that's where understanding comes in. Things take time. Things take a lot of time. And if you don't have the understanding to be there for that person and understand what they're going through, how could you expect them to do the same for you? There's a story that I saw on Facebook. That's a real good example of this. Is the story of the wallet. It starts off with this guy begging this girl to stay, and she's telling him he's nothing. He's nothing. He's not gonna end up being nothing. Um, and then she throws the wallet outside and she walks away from him. And another girl comes by the door and the wallet. A few years later, she's in front of him and she's making jokes of him. She's saying, he's the house boy, and she's really embarrassing him to find out that that man is her husband's boss, and now he's extremely successful with a wife, and he has his business, he has everything going. Now they have a lot of stories that go like that, and that's where understanding comes in. Now nothing happens overnight, and once you can wake up the next morning, you have time. So even if you see somebody struggling with something and you really want that relationship to work, just have the understanding and bear with them. Their breakthrough is right on the corner. All right, let's move on to the next part. The next point is compatibility. Right? You can't be with somebody who you're not compatible with. It'll never work. Never, ever, 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 ever. It'll never work. You'll never be happy with somebody who you're not compatible with because you don't have no interests that are the same. And there's been a lot of research done that suggests that if you and somebody have different interests, the relationship is doomed to fail. Most successful relationships have, no, not most, but all successful relationships, there's some level of, like, let's say like a 10 to 9 ratio of interest. Like they might just probably have one thing that differs, but the majority of their interests are your interests. You know, you watch a particular type of show, you like to go out, you like to spend time out, you'll find somebody who is just like that. If you're an introvert, then you like to be inside, you like to watch TV, you like to do things on the computer, and you find somebody who's just like you. It's compatibility and chemistry is the name of the game. Right? The next point I want to go into is conscientiousness. You know, when somebody's conscientious, they're reliable, they're practical, they follow the rules, and they're organized. Now, if you're a conscientious person and your partner is not conscientious, the relationship is going to have a lot of problems. A conscientious person tends to bring their conscientiousness into the relationship. So there's always going to be that level of respect, you know, that level of, all right, this is something I do, don't bother me with this is who I am, and they will respect that. They will respect it. They will not violate you in any way, and they will always be reliable. You need something, you go to them, they're there. They're, you know, you're gonna do something and they're right there. They're your number one supporter. They're You don't have to worry about anything with somebody who's conscientious because they're there. They're well mannered within the relationship, and there's nothing for you to worry about. You know, and a lot of us who are strong people, we tend to just need somebody to rely on because most of the time we have everything under control, and then there have some aspects of our lives we don't have under control. But if you find somebody who's just like you, goes back to compatibility again, then there's little to worry about. The next point, now this is a big one, and not a lot of people have this. It's emotional stability and intelligence, and also emotional maturity. Um, there are a lot of people out there who are not emotionally stable. They pretend to be stable. They're good at being stable, but they're not emotionally stable. And because they're not emotionally stable, then the relationship is gonna be like really rocky. Because you need somebody who you can, in a time of crisis, they can feed your energy when you don't have none. You know, they know how to reciprocate your emotions correctly. They know how to show the right a degree of passion and love. Now, as for emotional intelligence, there aren't a lot of people who are emotionally intelligent. A lot of people don't understand or know. They don't know what it means to be emotionally intelligent. Right? And I'm one of those people. Up until 2016, I did not know how to be emotionally intelligent. Right? And emotional intelligence comes with you understanding your own emotions so you can now be able to understand other people's emotions and be there for people emotionally. Now, there are some parts of being emotionally intelligent that you might not quite grasp, but once you're with somebody who's emotionally intelligent, they're gonna have things that you might do, they're gonna have things that you might say, and you're gonna get the correct emotional response. Other than somebody who's not emotionally intelligent, somebody who can't control their emotions, they're gonna just fly off the handle with the smallest thing that you might say or do. They will get pretty upset. They're gonna get angry. They're gonna break down, cry. They're just gonna be a total emotional wreck. You don't need that, and that's not one of the. That's that doesn't help a relationship because then there's one person who's gonna be emotionally dependent on the other person, and that's not healthy. When it comes to emotional maturity, it falls into the same bracket as knowing how to control and convey the right emotions at what particular time, when, and how. Right? And the last point that I want to get into is having somebody who is a strong believer that the relationship is going to work. Now, there are a lot of people who get into relationships for just the fun of it. And then when they realize that the other person is they're they're really into it and they're serious about that person, they're like, okay, hold on, wait. This relationship is not gonna work. And those people are the ones who tend to usually have their 3 months and 2 months relationship because they don't believe in the fact that the relationship is going to work due to the fact they don't believe that the person who's telling them, hey, let's make this thing work, they don't believe that this person actually wants to make it work. Now, communication is one of the pillars of any great relationship. You must be able to communicate, and you must believe in each other as well. So you can't just be in a relationship and you don't believe in the relationship. You don't believe that it's going to work. You don't believe that 5 years, 10 years down the road that you're still going to be with that person. And that is actually really damaging to a relationship. Now, when there's two people who can sit down and say, you know what, I'm going to make this thing work, and they work hard, they put in the hours, and they put in the emotions, they put in the sweat, the tears into that relationship, they're the ones who end up with a long lasting 50, 60 years relationship because they were determined to make that relationship work. Now, there are gonna be situations where one person is like, yeah, this relationship is gonna work, and the other person's gonna end up like, nah, it's not gonna work. And that's where one person ends up in love by themselves. And how to say this? You must be in love with somebody to be in a relationship. A relationship takes time. It takes work. It takes a lot of arguments and a lot of time. It just takes from you. But it also gives you so much more. It gives you someone who, till the end of your days, until the end of theirs, you actually have somebody that you can turn to, and they're going to be right there. So just think about it. You need to be with somebody who's going to say, we're going to work on this relationship, not somebody's going to walk away. Now, I know that there are a lot more things that you can look for in a relationship, or things to look for in a person to make a relationship work. These are just a few. I'm trying to actually cut down my time, but I know that relationships are relationships are great if you have the right person, right personality to build that relationship with. And every day that you're in a relationship, you're building it. Every single day that you're with a person, you're spending that time to be with that person. Now, you don't want to be looking for the idiosyncratic points and personalities, because that's a little overboard. You just need somebody who's just simple to help you build that relationship, build your dream of a relationship, and eventually build that family. Well, guys, as always, this is the end of my life. Um, if you missed it, you can always watch it on YouTube at kingsrantnation on YouTube, and you know, you can always look for it on Instagram, kingsrantnation. Can't go wrong. All right, so guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. All the best.